Welcome to Stay at Home Dads, a podcast.
With your hosts, Drew and Justin, a place where we talk about a lot of guy stuff.
And a little bit of dad stuff too. So kick back, relax, and let's talk. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. How you doing, Drew?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
Good. You got your drink?
Got my drink. Got my drink.
All
right.
This show is brought to you by Solo Cup.
Solo Cup.
You can hide your alcoholism from your neighbors. All right. Today, I guess you actually told me something that you did today, and I was actually super shocked that you said that you started going back to the gym, huh?
Yeah. Actually, this is day 2 of actual in-person gym attendance for me.
Oh my gosh, that's a highlight in today's times of COVID and lockdowns, and no one can do anything outside their houses. So
yeah,
how did that feel?
Dude, it was weird. I'm double vaccinated, so I feel like I don't need a mask. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, according to CDC, whatever it is now. So I'm not wearing a mask there. When I first went in there,
it's the science. Yeah.
Science. Yeah. So when I first
don't take that the wrong way, anybody.
I believe in science. I do believe in science. Yeah,
that's what I mean.
I'm all about it. I'm all about the vaccine, obviously, because I took it twice.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
So I go in there and it feels weird at first, like just because I think it's been over a year. I think it's been like more like 15 months. I'd have to do the math, but that's what I think I calculated. It was like 15 months since I've been there. I'm cruising in there. Like, I'm like, yeah, got my freaking workout gloves on. I got my freaking BCAA drink.
Was it busy?
It wasn't as busy as I thought it'd be. Well, the second day, today was my second day. It was actually a lot busier. And here's a problem, and I hate this every year. We get like the high school kids that come in there like in their little flocks. And that's well, let's go back to that. Let's circle back around to the high school kids, because I got funny stories about these little guys. So I mean, God bless them. God bless them, because they're just trying and they're so skinny and little.
You're just fighting the good fight, guys.
Yeah, fighting the good fight.
We'll get to you in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, God bless them, because I used to be one of them. But anyway, so I get down there and it's awesome. Like dude, like some old guy came up to me and he's like, hey, and like I've probably said maybe three words to him in my entire life. And he's like, hey, haven't seen you in a year. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you're back. And I was like,
old man's got the jokes, huh?
Didn't realize you missed me, but I guess you paid attention to me because you recognized me. Like, he was on. He's like, this guy's back. I know this guy.
Yeah. So, hey, stranger. How you doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That was cool.
So there's people, I mean, that kind of goes to show that like people are like maybe a little more outgoing because they've been locked up, and like typically you wouldn't have talked to that guy at the gym, but now you guys have kind of like a common thing, like, hey man, we're back in the same space, occupying the same area. What's going on? Like, so it's kind of funny, kind of gives a little camaraderie, I guess. I don't know.
Absolutely. So I got to say, I kind of made a mistake that I often make when it's been a minute since I've been at the gym. And like, this has been a mistake that I've made in the past when like I've been sick and I've missed like a week or two, but this is completely different because this is like, I missed like a year or so.
Yeah.
And the mistake I make is I go in there and I just freaking hit it hard. Cause I'm like, I've been gone, got to make it for lost time.
Right.
And then, oh my God, why did I do that? Like,
and then you feel it.
So I did chest and I just freaking like hit it and I hit it and I hit it and I hit it. And then like that night I'm like laying there in bed and I'm like, oh man, like I kind of hurt. Like, what the hell?
You're grabbing yourself. You're like, oh no.
I'm like achy. No. I'm like laying there in bed taking like ibuprofens. I'm popping. I'm like, this is hurting really bad. Like, is this normal? Like,
you went too hard for having a 15-month break.
Way too hard. Like one of my pecs was kind of like spazzing, like it was having like kind of like doing like a little muscle twitch. I was like, twitch. Oh. Like it was like, what did you do to me? Because I freaking like loaded it up and I was just like, let's try this. But the problem was I was trying to like do the weights I used to do, and like I used to be able to maybe get like 12 to 15 reps. I was like getting like 7, 8. I was like, okay. Whew.
Ooh, take a break. So you're used to, like, you're at the gym. You're used to taking 245s, just say, and doing dumbbell press.
Yeah.
But during COVID and you work at home, you were dumbbell pressing 12 and a halves or something crazy, like something, because that's all you have. That was my case. Like, I haven't gone back to the gym, so I haven't gone back yet. I haven't been back. I keep telling myself I've got to like set up my account, because my account is totally closed. So that's always that's a hurdle that maybe I'm using as like an excuse, not to go back yet, but I want to. But the biggest weight I have at home is a 15. So I've been doing everything with 15s. I've been doing squats with 15s. I've been doing deadlifts with 15s. I've been doing like chest flies with 15s, chest press with 15s, curls with 15s. Like I'm really good at 15s, but like if I step back up to do like a 25-pound curl or a 45 or a 50-pound, dumbbell press, like I would be in your boat. I'd be dying and my arms would be like shaking and falling off. So
luckily my wife bought us these Nordic Track adjustable like dumbbells where I could go anywhere from like 50 down to like 10 with them, where like you can kind of like adjust them. So I did have like a little range. But for some reason, because it only went up to 50, I was like, okay, well, maybe I don't want to like max it out. So like I was like kind of sticking at 40. But then like as I knew the pandemic was winding down, I was like, all right, well, let's crank it up to 50. Because dude, at one point when I was like in my prime, I think I was doing like 80-pound dumbbells per hand, per arm. And for me, like that was like the epitome of like, that was like the strongest I've ever been.
Right.
I was like, okay, I'm about to get back in the gym. Let's start doing the 50s. And the 50s felt really heavy at home.
Like compared to what you're used to doing. Yeah.
So I got my story. So I'm at the gym on the first day, and like there's like this girl who works at the gym, never took a day off. She's like, I think she's like a bodybuilder, and she's like freaking putting up 65 pounders next to me. And like, well, she's got her like buddy's partner, but she's like freaking like cranking on these 65ers.
Just a monster. Yeah.
And I'm looking over at her, and like I had to say something because I've been gone for so long. I was like, you're crushing it. I was like, you're about doubling what I'm doing, because I was like working with some like 35s at that point.
Did you tell that to her?
I said that. I'm like, you're about doubling what I'm putting up right now. So like, props to you, girl. Like pound it. Like, so it's like, gosh darn it, like this girl's just freaking making me look like,
That's me, dude. That's me in my lowly 15s. Like we have like, and they're just weights like that we've bought, over time, because my wife does a lot of workouts from home. Yeah. We do the beach body thing. You actually got me into the beach body thing.
Yep.
That was 2019, which is like, it's opened up like exercising for me, because I've never been in better shape. Like I have abs, I'm doing pretty well. Yeah. But we don't have like a lot of weights. I'm used to going to the gym. So we have like a little bit of weights for my wife. So we have like 5s and 8s and 10s and 12s and the 15s. So it's like, that was in my arsenal, was like 5 pounds to 15 pounds.
You've got kind of like, I don't mean to like genderize. I just made up a word. I don't mean to like put a gender label on this, but you kind of got like the girl range of like 5s to 15s to, not that girls can't lift more, because believe me, this girl was like freaking putting up 65. Like bodybuilder girls can put it up, for sure. Right. But yeah, I'm so thankful that my wife did get me those Nordic Track ones, because it's amazing like how quickly though you were saying that like you've only got like that range, and how all of a sudden that range started feeling harder and harder to like
it felt like
stayed with it.
Like the 15s, like they felt light. Yeah. But like certain exercises, like even like doing a curl, when you're doing like a hammer curl or whatever, I was like, like I wouldn't want to do more than these 15s. Like this feels like adequate, and it's kind of a good thing. Like you would go shopping during the pandemic and during COVID, and we tried to find bigger weights, and you can't find them. It was like, impossible. It was a hot commodity. Like it was like toilet paper and freaking zucchinis, whatever. Like it was like, it was hard to find. Like, you could not find weights.
You just reminded me. So I don't know if you can see like my freaking man cave is a mess right now. There's so much crap just kind of spilling out of anyway. So I've got these like stretch bands on the door.
Okay.
When I was ordering those, it was ridiculous, because I feel like I got those, and what's weird was they somehow like they sold out like instantly. Like I was trying to find them again like after the fact to like help a friend, and like you just could not find them. It was like everybody was like, oh, we should get stretch bands, like
because there was no weights, right?
Yeah. But it was like right around the time where like the toilet paper was getting scarce, and like and I thought that would be like an easy thing that I could do. And like, to be honest, I mean, I thought those were stupid before the pandemic. those are kind of cool. Like I like those. Like you can do like stuff where like you pull, or I can turn around and I can do like some freaking kind of like some fly stuff with them. Like they're not too bad, you know.
I mean, it helped you. Is that pretty? Well, I guess you had a few weights. I've been to your house. Like you've had a bench too, and you got a little bit of weights, but you have stretch bands to do like.
Yeah.
Like what's nice about the stretch bands too is you can put your hands up and you can do like the like almost like a cable crossover type of exercises.
Dude,
so
I can do all kinds of crap.
That helped you kind of maintain, right?
I can flip around and I can do like kind of like a tricep extension. I can
behind your head. Yeah.
I can put the anchor like at the bottom of the door, and I can do like a curl kind of, like there's all kinds of, dude, they're pretty good.
Okay.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Now you have a newfound respect for the bands.
Yeah, but now that I'm back at the gym, I don't think I'll touch them. Because I like cables. I like actual cable weights, because here's the problem with those. The intensity changes throughout the range of motion. So as you get further away from the door, they get harder. And as you get closer to the door, they get easier. While with cable weights, it's a consistent like weight the entire time, which I like that better. But yeah, when you don't have any other option, like those are great. So
I mean, yeah, because how did you do during COVID time? Not to get too deep in the COVID weeds, but like how did you maintain? You felt like you did kind of okay?
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. So basically, like this past year was like weird because we were just having to make do with what we had. And I mean, I felt like I did okay, but like I had an advantage that you didn't have, where I had like that range of like the Nordic Track dumbbells that could adjust from like 10s to 50s, which was freaking phenomenal. Like, because you can do a lot of crap with that. Like 50s, I used to be able to lift way more than 50s, but like 50s for like topping out, that's a pretty heavy weight.
That's a good amount. Yeah.
Because if you're like using this for like bench, like you're like doing like 100 pounds, like that's not too bad, so.
And then you could flip them up, you could throw them on your shoulders, and you could do squats with them. You could do a straight leg deadlift with them, and that's plenty of weight for like those leg exercises for sure.
Yeah, so that was the problem. Like everything for legs, I was having to use dumbbells, so I was having to like hold those up and like try to like do like squats with them, and like it was just I mean, what else could you do?
Right.
So you don't have leg machines at your house.
No, you don't have the leg presses and the the racks and all that stuff set up. It's just it's crazy. I mean, how did you do with the diet side? Like, not to get too deep in diet, but did you get crazy? I mean, I know it's pretty easy to be like, I'm stuck at home, I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna eat this Ben and Jerry's, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, luckily my wife she's a fitness competitor herself. And I mean, for the most part, like we have some cheats, but even our cheats are pretty healthy, because we'll get like frozen pizza, but it'll be like cauliflower pizza. So it's not like, it's really like low calorie, you know what I mean? We'll get ice cream, but it's like that ice cream that's like super like healthy ice cream, like Halo, which is like no calories.
I just threw some of that away.
Yeah.
Like, not to disappoint anybody, but like we had some in my freezer and we tried it and it tasted like chalk. And I threw that freaking shit out.
Dude, it does. And like, it's funny because my dad came over recently. My dad actually just visited, and we have like these protein pancakes, and I freaking love them, because for me, I love protein pancakes because they're freaking delicious. And I get to I put peanut butter and syrup on them.
Is that the Kodiak cakes? What do you got?
I can't remember. They're Pam pancakes, I believe, like PAM, which is funny because my wife's name is Pam, so we get the Pam pancakes. I've got the peanut butter chocolate chip, and I fucking love them. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna make these for my dad because he's like in town, and I was like, he'll love these. And like,
he thought they sucked, didn't they?
Yeah, but he said it in the nicest way, where he was like, they're interesting. I think they could take some getting used to. And like, I was like, okay, he just said in the nicest manner possible. These are awful. These are bad.
He said, I'll put up with these while I'm here, but when I get home, I will never eat these again.
But just for me, like, I get to slap some peanut butter on them. I put some syrup and I eat them with some eggs, and like, I'm in heaven, because for me, like, it's a cheat, almost. But they're
that's me. That's like me too. Like I eat them too. I get the ones from Costco. They're called Kodiak cakes, and I just get them from Costco. They have them at the store, but they're cheaper at Costco. And I make them. I'll dice up some fruit, throw some fruit in the mix, cook them with the fruit in there.
Yep.
And then I'll mix up the PB Fit, the powdered peanut butter.
Yeah.
And I'll slather that on there. And I think they're like super good. And I give them to my wife, and I'm like, here, have some. And she's like, no, she's like not having it. So I'm like,
Well, my
like
wife's
I'm
better.
super excited, but she's like super not about it. So I'm
Well,
like, okay, that's fine.
that was my dad, and God bless him, because you know, like he's right. Like if you go to like IHOP, they're nothing like IHOP, because IHOP is like freaking like candy. These are as good as they get for like people that are like bodybuilders, you know, like my wife
Right.
or whatever. So, but yeah, my wife actually is better than me, because I think like I buy syrup. I buy like the real, pardon my language, and like she'll like use a little bit, but she'll mostly put like blueberries or strawberries on it just for like some natural sweetness, you know. So
Right.
but yeah, what about
Yeah,
you,
that's
man? What about you? Like for your stay-at-home stuff, like what kind of exercises were you doing? Like were you doing Beachbody, or were you
so
doing
yeah, so like you got me into Beachbody in like spring of 2019 because I was like the typical like go to the gym, oh I work out, blah blah blah, and I go to the gym and I would waste 40 minutes to an hour. I do stair stepper. I wouldn't know what I was doing to the weights, and I felt like I did okay, but my body composition never changed, like never changed for years. It just was kind of like just kind of me, you know?
Yeah.
And then once you got me to go on the Beachbody, I was like, okay, I'll do that. And I did like the 8-week program on there, like one of them. There's a bunch. No, we're not sponsored by Beachbody. No, we're not coaches for Beachbody. Well, your wife's a coach.
Well,
I'm not a coach.
I was a coach on Beachbody.
Yeah, you were a coach.
Like,
that's right.
Briefly.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, not to like advocate for Beachbody like crazy, but it worked. So I did it, and I did the 8-week thing, and like within 8 weeks of like staying on a diet plan and counting my like doing macros. If people know what macros is, that's like your macros, you're counting your calories, you're figuring out your fats and your protein. So I did all that just for a quick backstory, and it worked.
You should put up a picture of like us, like in our prime, like before COVID, doing Beachbody. Like put up a picture of me and you, and like I just want our like viewers to see like we were freaking hitting it, and like it's not just about like doing the exercises though. Like I think a large part of it is what you did in the kitchen. Was what I learned from all this was it doesn't matter how much you work out, if you're not eating right, like you're not going to get those results. And like it's a combination of like both, you know.
Right. You know, and they say that too, like which I know a lot of people like come in problems with is like you can ruin your diet like on a weekend. So you can be super good Monday through Friday, and then weekend comes around and you go drinking with the boys and you go to some barbecues like I just came from. And you
have
can
five hot dogs.
Have 5 hot dogs. You can wreck your diet like it's like that, and you'll never, you know. But but anyways, where was I?
I think that's okay though, because I do believe in the cheat day or the cheat meal, and the fact that you have 5 hot dogs today sounds glorious. You put down 5 hot dogs and a couple burgers, like at a good barbecue, and you just, I think, dude, as a guy, like I think you owe that to yourself once in a while. I don't think you should beat yourself up, because I'm jealous that you had 5 hot dogs today at your barbecue.
They were delicious. I will say that.
Yeah. I like brats. I like brats too. I'm a big brat fan.
Brats are good. So, but anyways, so I just like, I did that. I stuck to the diet plan, and I've always stuck to that diet plan. I've changed it a little bit. I've changed like what I ate, you know, throughout. I've done some different Beachbody programs, but I've had this for some most part, same results. So when the pandemic came, I just kind of kept that regimen. Like I still did the Lift 4, quote unquote. That's the one that you initially like got me on. And I did that. It's like, it's doing HIIT, which is high intensity training, and it's weights. Well, I only had 15-pound weights, so I just stuck with like the heaviest weight I had.
You still crushed it.
We got a Peloton. So I started riding a Peloton, and I just kept on my diet. And I slipped up, you know, I mean, just like I did today, but the following day is a new day. So you recover. You don't just let it derail your whole shebang.
Don't beat yourself up, because we give ourselves a pretty good cheat meal. In fact, sometimes they become cheat days, which is like, you gotta be careful, you know?
Right. Which is, you know, I mean, and that's okay too. It's like, I think that people will like work and do really well, and then they kind of fail a little bit, and then that's a good time for them to give up almost. But it's like you can't you got to just like power through. It's almost like a mental thing. You got to like really tell yourself, and you just, hey, don't let today ruin you. Tomorrow's a new day. You flip your page in your book, and tomorrow's a new day, and you start your diet right over again. Oh, I'm going to eat my good breakfast and don't fall down that pit, you know? And that's what I did throughout the pandemic. And now I just need to get my butt, you know, back in the gym. So,
okay. So 2 things I want to hit before we like wrap up. Number 1, Justin, when are you going to get back into the gym? Have you picked your date yet? Have you figured out? Because dude, 15s are awesome. I'm glad you're working with those, but wait till you get back. You're going to think like they changed the weights in there, because I was like making a joke with my friends. Like, I don't have a lot of friends in there, but people that like recognize me, I was like kind of like joking. I was like, did they like increase the weights in here? Because this is heavy.
Like this 20 is not a 20.
This 20 is not a 20. It feels like a 50,
Right.
So when are you going to get back in there, man? That's the first question. When are you going to get back in there?
Well, today is a Wednesday. So let me try to get myself signed up for the gym by this weekend. So I'm going to give myself tomorrow and Friday to like get my together and get in there. So maybe by Saturday, I'd like to be in the gym at least once. So yeah. But and then otherwise, sorry. If anyone else, like if you're trying to do this and you're trying to get on your track and you're trying to find yourself, just there's a lot of good programs out there. Like I know we use Beachbody, but like there's a ton of free stuff on YouTube. Peloton has a bunch of like exercise stuff. It's like crazy the technology out there today, like how much like free like content there is for exercising, for diet, for everything else. Like people put stuff out there for free, like, and it's just, you just got to find it and stick to it.
Well, that was my second thing, was like, what was your like advice you have for like our dads watching, and like you took it there before I even went there. So there is all kinds of resources.
Find something. Yeah.
If you don't know where to start, like I would get on YouTube and just kind of like look up some stuff, because you would not believe the amount of free resources that are just available.
Right.
And it's weird because there's like these fitness guys that like they have like these paid programs, but they put out so much free content. Like I like a guy named Athlete X I watched for a long time. I can't remember. I haven't watched him for a while.
I've seen him.
You've seen him?
Mm-hmm.
He puts out a lot of really free good advice where like just watch his videos, and like it's helped me like in putting together like kind of like my workout regimens and things. So
yeah, there's a ton of stuff. And even back to like the Beachbody. The Beachbody is $99 for a year. So break that up for a monthly cost. It's like it's quite cheap and quite affordable to have stuff in your own home. So say you're not to the point yet of wanting to wander around a gym and do stuff in a gym. Like you can get that and you can work out at home. Yep. Or like Drew said, you can find stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of really good content. And
it's amazing.
And there's another website called it's called rippedbody.com. Mm-hmm. And the guy's name is I don't even remember his name, but he has like a ton of good content. It's like no BS content. He talks about like macros. He's got like a calculator on there to figure out like where your calories should be. He's got like a ton of good information. So we can link all that stuff in the description, and you guys can kind of check it out on your own time. So That's all I got, man. So,
all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm finally getting my butt back in the gym, and it's been kind of a little bit of so one more thing. When you guys do get back in there, this is a thing that I wanted to like warn you against. Don't do what I did. I really overdid it. Just listen to your body, ease back into it. Like, don't hurt yourself, because I hurt right now. Like this is, I didn't even talk about day 2. Like I did a little better on day 2 today.
You're in pain. I'm in pain
right now. I did back and biceps today, and yesterday I did like chest and tries, and like everything just kind of hurts right now. So ease into it. Like you have all the time in the world to like get back to where you were. But leave a comment. Like let us know where you're at. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful.
Yeah, that's all we got. And good advice, Drew, man. That's all I got to say. So
yeah, well, thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, later.
All right, bye.
All right, that's our show. Thanks for watching Stay at Home Dads.
You know the drill, guys. Blah blah blah. Hit that like button, subscribe.
We'll catch you on the flip side.